Please like and subscribe to the Couch and the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. If you want to bet the final semifinals and final of the World Cup, the British Open this week, the Tigers, whatever it might be, download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app today. You can also always swing by Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook on I-94 in Battle Creek at Firekeepers Casino for the full in-house casino experience. Casino floors right there, the restaurants, Dacey's Taproom, incredible as well, right there for you in Southwest Michigan. Jason, how you doing, brother?
On the eve of... Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day.
Oh, it'll be a cold day in hell before I give up on
Let's go green. Oh, God.
Forgot to run this shit over here. What's up, buddy?
Been a while.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
You too.
By the way, it's the Open, not the British Open.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to be confused. By the way, I'm going to have like 74 bets for the Open this week.
Our Wednesday show is going to be incredible.
Oh, my God. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hit an outright winner yesterday. Tom Kim, 88-1. I love that MFer forever. Shot a bogey-free 64 in the final round. Flushes a 4-iron on 16 for 203 yards to 5 feet for birdie. Man, I love that guy. So it was nice to hit it outright. Previous week, got her up a little live bet. So we're on a streak here. Norm's bets. Can't wait till Wednesday. But anyway, good to see you, man. I hope the World Cup's been going great for you. I jinxed the Tigers. We went to the Tigers game on Saturday. Now they're ass again.
I had a great bet that I gave out on this show that hit, and I feel really good about it. I had a couple things hit for me. Noskova in the Wimbledon final hit 20-1. I had her going in.
I can't tell whether that's World Cup or what. That's a country or
yeah,
what.
No, it's
Cape Verde and all this shit.
But and I gave this out here. It was, is there a first-time winner at the World Cup? No, and all 4 teams left have won it. France to reach the round of 16, Spain round of 16, England round of 16, Switzerland to qualify from Group B, USA to qualify for the knockout rounds, Ecuador to qualify, and Colombia to qualify. The only one we really had to sweat on was Ecuador, which really made us sweat. Otherwise, it was a great bet. Were people
able to write it down? I mean, I guess you can listen on the pod and rewind it. But
it was plus 300. It was a great bet.
All right, hey.
So that was,
give you credit. I just don't know. Some of these soccer bets, they're like 9 miles long. Sometimes you forget what bet's what and everything.
Yeah,
so.
No, that was one of the better ones. I want to thank our audience.
Yeah, of course.
Because our audience has really prepared me to care for a 3-month-old. You know, there's
not ChatGPT. That's how I raised Norm.
Both.
Okay.
Both. But there are a lot of similarities. You know, like happy one moment, fussy or inconsolable the next, you know, if their needs aren't met instantly. You know, a lot of, if things aren't going well, they let you know. Don't always speak clearly in what the, you know, but it's I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I notice. I'm like, I know how to do this. I've
got 18 more years of this, by the way.
I've been dealing with Matt C. all this time, and now here's Cora. She's unhappy. I can figure this out. So thank you.
Where is Cora? Oh,
soccer is boring.
That's right, Cora. I missed you for 2 weeks. I know. You know, Dad made you watch so much soccer. Bored out of your tit already. At such a young age. How much soccer you rocking? You got your Wolf Blitzer 2 TV set up?
No, I just got the one, but it's a fair bit, because my wife is back to work. Elizabeth's back to work, so it's just like me 20 hours a day as a parent right now. I'm like single dad on 4 hours sleep, just rocking.
Does she constantly check in on you?
Oh, I mean, yeah. She just works upstairs, but it's, you know.
Oh, I see. She still works from home.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's got
office. She's like, you sure you don't want me in the office? I mean, I should come in.
She's got to provide the milk still too.
Oh,
I can't.
You can't do that?
I can't. Cora tries sometimes. She
grabs
pump. she sees my man boobs, and she's like, "Wait a sec, that looks familiar."
Which is which?
But it anyway, yeah. I have to explain to her. Not this one. Hold on. Give it a few minutes.
So what are the listeners doing? What do you mean they're giving you encouragement? I know there's a lot of people that tell you having a child is a gift and stuff like that. Is that what's helping you get through?
No. I'm just saying what's helping me get through is their immaturities are the same as I was just kidding. Cora's. Their fussiness. You're
just to shoot a dig at Matt C.
I'm just not at Matt C. I'm just trying to be funny, and I'm not very good at it. So I thought I'd lead with my old bit. I've been thinking about that one for a while.
Oh shit, that was like a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
I got the perfect opener. Elizabeth, check out this opener.
I was thinking about it on July 4th. We went to a lake house, friends of Elizabeth's, like in Southwest Michigan, and we lasted 2 hours before Cora was completely inconsolable. We just had to leave. Like it was like we didn't know what to do, and then we had like an hour and 40-minute.
That
drive
could work
home.
out in some cases if you don't want to.
If you don't want to be someplace,
people, yeah.
right. No, it is a good way out of situations you don't want to be in, but it also can lead to like, oh my God, what do we do? I don't know. So,
were you at? Was that Kevin Guskiewicz's house? You were at on 4th of July.
It was Kevin Guskiewicz's house. Yeah,
oh my God, almost an emergency pod. I think that doesn't fit in the category.
It
just has to be Tom dying.
Right. It shows where Guskiewicz ranks in the hierarchy with Izzo, because Izzo in doing that situation would have equated to an emergency pod, but Guskiewicz not so much. Right.
He's
so
a bull in a china closet.
I know.
Still an important thing, and we should get into it.
Is it?
I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a massively important thing for the university and for Michigan State athletics. Because even with the fallout with J Batt, I think the much more important leader in the university and person to be there is Kevin Guskiewicz.
I mean, was there really a fallout with J Batt though? I mean, Kentucky offered him a really unbelievable deal.
They did, but I don't know, and he might have had a wandering eye anyway. I have not talked to him, but I mean, I don't know how much. Like, if Kevin Guskiewicz never says he's going to go anywhere, is J Batt still the athletic director today? I would think so. Right, and
I don't know. The deal with Batt happened so quickly, and then the thing with Guskiewicz. That's why, I know we're getting into it now, but it just I don't know how to feel about it because it still feels kind of gross. I still feel watching Guskiewicz with the Clemson people with the orange tie. Like, I'm happy that Tom Izzo's happy that Guskiewicz is coming back because I don't know, like a president coming back, and that doesn't mean much to me. I don't really follow the president and all that, So I think we have to do that in today's college athletics, but I've never remembered being so into who the president is going to be. But I just feel like it just grossed me out, the whole thing about Gus. And then he's still staying. It's like, what is going on? Like J Batt staying. Like, in the future, can we just get these guys the F out of here? Like, why were they lingering around?
Well, here's the thing with Guskiewicz, and I think these are very separate situations, even though they're linked. With Guskiewicz, I think it speaks to a couple things. That one, there was a recognition, and Izzo was a big part of this, but there was a recognition of the talent that he is, of the instability Michigan State's had previously in the recent years at that position. And like if this would not have happened for Sam Stanley, there would not have been this urge to keep him, this fight to keep him. And it also might not have happened if this was the first president after Luana K. Simon. It was like, okay, they'd had stability and somebody doesn't want to be there, they'll find somebody else. They've been through trying to figure out who the next person's going to be. And so I think that is part of it. I also think that Guskiewicz, and we've talked about this before, one of his talents and his ability to meet people where they are and live in your world and all that stuff has made him some friends. And it's made a lot of people who believe in him over there. And so I think that's not insignificant. It's an interesting case because I do think he has to build back some trust with people. When you say you're going to leave, how do people know you're really in it for the long haul? How do people know this doesn't happen a year from now? How do people know you're committed? I think it would be, and I don't want to say.
Or if times get tough, are you going to leave?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And again, I haven't talked to him, and I've been on leave here, but this is my read on the situation with him. I think he's somebody who thought of MSU when he got the job as his last gig. And he's approaching 60. He's in the prime of what would be a president's career, usually the age that people get that job. And and this is his legacy. This is his last go. And I don't think he wanted to be somewhere he didn't feel like he was wanted. And I think he misread that a little bit. He didn't want to be somewhere that was going to be a massive headache and started to look around. I don't think when you look at the contract he's reportedly agreeing to, which is less than the $2 million they were willing to throw at him and all that stuff, I don't think that this has been about finances for him. I think it's been about being someplace as a president that he can mold and that he can live, have his, as he said with Clemson, the folks at Clemson, as he originally took that job, somebody who appreciates my style of leadership, all that stuff. But I think what's most important for Michigan State is they needed to continue some level of momentum. They needed stability. They needed somebody who was a good fundraiser. And I think he is a lot of those things. And I think it was hard to find him when they landed him as the president. I think it would be hard to land somebody who had his set of skills or somebody at the right set of skills the next time. Doesn't mean they couldn't, but it would be the same board making that hire. And so I think this is important because the person at the top, yeah, he'll have to hire a new AD now. But he knows sort of what they need. It allows the donor base, he can continue that momentum as long as he has their trust. So I think this was wildly important, not ideal in the fact that he nearly left, but wildly important. I think he did leave, kind of.
Well, how does Clemson feel right now?
He's never signed his contract with Clemson, obviously.
Right.
And
I just feel like you still leave, though, when you do a Zoom call and have the tie on. It counts.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
J Batt is different. Like, J Batt is, like, and I'm not saying this is a Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson situation, but what I mean is, like, J Batt they were a duo in certain things with athletics. J Batt shared the similar vision to what Guskiewicz had. J Batt, Guskiewicz wanted something creative. He wanted an AD who could do something outside the box to help them financially. And I think he thinks J Batt put that in motion. And he went out of his way to get J Batt. Those two were a pair. And I think for J Batt, as soon as it looked like Guskiewicz was leaving, he was going to look for something else. The situation with J Batt and like the negotiated settlement in terms of his buyout, which is
Solari loved that,
like $3.9 million instead of $5 million or $2.5. I think it's fair, more than fair. And here's why. I think J Batt would have had a case if that thing ever went to court. I don't think it would have. Because the whole deal was his buyout decreased to $2.5 million if Guskiewicz left. Well, if you're the AD and the president announces they're leaving, Clemson announces him as the new president, he does a press conference in the tie, as you brought up. What else do you technically – I mean, yeah, technically he hadn't left campus yet, but the man announced he was leaving for Clemson. Like, are you supposed to sit around and wait till his body is technically off campus until every contract's – like, I think that would have been a really interesting fight, not one that either side needed to get into. Would have wasted more money in legal fees than the difference in the settlement anyway. I think the 3.9 is probably fair. It was unfair to J Batt, and what the contract with the intention of the buyout was that if Guskiewicz left, his buyout would be less, and he would be easier for him to land somewhere else. And Guskiewicz, as we thought, as everybody thought, as he announced, as Clemson announced, did leave.
Did he use Clemson for leverage, though? Because he did have like a 6-month departure period, which I think is how is that even a thing? I don't care if it's president of this or whatever. You can't have that where you take another position.
Presidents get weird, unbelievable deals. I mean, you look at some of the former president of Michigan who basically gets canned, and he's a professor there, and he gets a massive deal. I mean, the
Santa Ono.
Yeah, I mean, these guys. Well, before him, but they always
Yoko
get
Ono.
They always get these parachutes. Not Ono, Schlissel or whatever.
I believe you.
Anyway, this was a big deal for Michigan State because I think it prevents Tom Izzo from having to be the head of the school again for a while. It prevents the board of trustees from taking fire that I think would have gotten really ugly there. I think the whole process would have been difficult.
It's the American way, except America has gotten soft.
And
I could listen to that every day.
Tom Izzo, Steven Izzo, the Izzo family, whoever made it happen. Lupe.
I think Lupe had something to do with it, too.
However they got this done, they got it done, and I think Guskiewicz staying.
See, I'm happy for the Izzo family. Like, Guskiewicz coming back, I'm like, all right, if they're happy, I'm happy. That's the way I play it, because it still grosses me out. I think the whole thing was just gross, but besides Batt, because if they come and hand you that kind of money, I would not sit there and be like, tell you to stay here. If they're going to pay you $2 million more, and you can get away from this kind of a mess.
I have no problem with J Batt thinking what he had been hired to do was falling apart in front of him, and that he look around in the prime of your career as well, and somebody has a great offer for you while you're
talk
a hot
to your
name.
boy Gus, and he's like, I think I'm going to get out of here too. And that's your guy who brought you here, pretty much. So it's like,
well, it's not just that. Guskiewicz ahead of time said, "I'm leaving."
Right?
Yeah, and you're like, okay. And so I have zero. I mean,
honey, go get me an orange tie from Joseph A. Bank real quick, will you?
I understand.
I got a point to make to Michigan State.
People get really upset with J Batt, and there's no love lost or whatever. And I understand a lot of the things he said at his Kentucky press conference are similar to what he said at Michigan State, and it sounds like a guy who's just bouncing around and isn't really that committed anywhere. But look, the terms of his deal changed. He thought he was coming in with a relatively new president, that he was going to have a run there. I don't think anybody thought J Batt was a lifer, but I don't think J Batt showed up at Michigan State thinking a year from now he was going to be at Kentucky.
Right.
And I don't know what would have happened with a Kentucky offer if Guskiewicz stuck around, but I don't know that those conversations ever happened, and I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. What is your first take?
Buenos tardes. It is time for the Detroit Tigers Gambling Update with Gramanito Couch and Jason Nee.
Well, like I mentioned, Graham went to the game on Saturday, the Rube Jinx, had to break up that streak. But I got to say, I really hate this team. Like, I know that we're just trying to get back in because we want to save our summer of baseball watching and we want to believe. But do we really believe in this team? And I know the Phillies are a tough ball club, but watching Torque with the bases loaded and some of the numbers, and I'm trying to be nice to Torque throughout the year of going like, I think he could be a guy, blah, blah, blah. But I think we've seen enough sample size of Torque, right? Our bullpen isn't that great. Our starting pitching has gotten a lot better, but do we really think that this team could do any damage in the playoffs whatsoever? And I've actually won in the past in our weeks off. I actually hit a couple same game parlays on the Tigers because the bats were picking up the run differential up to plus 24. But let me ask you, like, really, are we? And I just feel like and the reason why I say I hate this team, because I feel like then when you give up and they look so bad in May and you go, fuck these guys, I don't want to watch this team anymore. Then they make a comeback and all these people like, you're good. And all these guys they're telling me, not you're good. What are the other guy? Case and Steven Hagen, our guys. Sorry, I forget everybody's name. But, they start tweeting stuff out, the possibility, the wild card. And you go, okay, I'll buy back in. All right. And then Saturday I go to that shit fest. And it's just back, and then we still have the Make-A-Wish Foundation projects like Valencia, and it's a great story. But really, if you're a ball club that's really going to start making moves in a playoff push, are we, and Dingler with his hand injury, and he's been terrible at the plate the past couple of games. I'm just saying, like, should we just be more realistic? Because I definitely want my summer to turn around after the All-Star break, home run derby tonight, right? But, are we just – I think the team just constantly makes you look like an asshole.
So yes. Everything you just said, because first of all, Torkelson is I've been so far out on him for a while, and I just can't. I can't.
I've been bullish.
He's not the guy. He's not it.
He's not it.
And the sooner he's no longer a Tiger, the more I'll enjoy this team.
And Scooble talking about how we should be, he wants to stay here. All these rumors coming out, and he's in the media saying that we should definitely be buyers. Like, F you, dude.
Torkelson is a less talented version of Christian Pulisic, but just as unlikable sometimes. So that's what I would say right now. Like, it's not even anything that they're probably lovely people. I'm just saying, like, they drive you insane.
And Scooble drives you insane. Like, it's a guy it's your ace, a back-to-back, Cy Young Award winner, and I look at him, I go, ugh.
Well, and don't tell people that you want to be in Detroit. If you want to be in Detroit, you're a grown-ass man. Yeah. Sign the contract. Yeah. Tell your agent that this is what you're doing.
He really wants to stay here. Like, does he? Like, all right, let's get a deal done.
And then maybe once again see the seventh inning of a game. I'm sorry, for the money you want, I don't. there are
You can
arguments.
say that about a lot of guys.
100%. And this day and age is different. And look, he gives the Tigers, I believe he does give the Tigers a little bit of a mojo, especially this team. And we saw them go 2-14 the second he got hurt, right? I'm not saying that he isn't valuable even beyond the times he's on the mound. There's something about him. He has a presence to him, right? You have an ace. Yeah. You walk into a series. There's something about he is it in a lot of ways that Torkelson is not. He is the antithesis of Spencer Torkelson.
I do love watching Scooble. That's what makes me hate this team so much, because I just feel like the relationship we have with some of these guys, it's like F you, and then because we can't just fart rainbows in every game like some of these guys do. Like, I understand you want to try to be positive, but I can't be positive sometimes when this baseball that we've watched so far this year. And you especially in this division, it's absolute crap.
You can't have you're 44-52, and I understand that the record, since June has been okay. The record
it's been great. Yeah. Listen, it's a great run. I am appreciating great baseball. There's nothing to do with it, but let's talk about some of the other months like May and that were just so atrocious.
And it's just because so I understand you might be able to somehow win this division if you get hot at the right time, because the division's bad and the whole American League's bad and all the baseball is pretty bad. I mean, you look at the American League West, you might be able to get a wild card. Nobody's good. I don't know what's happened, but nobody's good this year. Somehow, nobody's good. But you should also look at, like, the idea is not just getting to the playoffs. And again, if we've talked about this with Torkelson and what you're trying to get out of this season, I have no problem hanging on to him and you don't love losing him, but you prefer that if you were a legitimate contender. Get a run out of him.
Right.
This team, even if somehow they squeak in, we've seen them squeak in previous 2 years, this team is not going further than the last year.
But that will give relief to Scott Harris and ownership and brass if we end up sneaking in. That's the thing. I guess I could say I hate the organization and the way it's run, because if they do, if they end up sneaking in, like, well, that's baseball, and hey, we ended up making the playoffs 3 years in a row, right? But we're not any closer to winning one, though. Like, making the playoffs is great. I enjoy playoff baseball. I enjoy being a part of it. But if that is the goal, I just can't be a part of that. We have to try to make moves to get into a scenario where we can win this damn thing.
I did do one thing, though. The Tigers made me believe this much, Jason.
Uh-oh.
You remember how I had this this over-unders of 86.5 wins bet, right? And I also have a bet. Well, I hedged a while ago on under 76.5. So I had this huge gap where I could lose both bets. But for a while they were so poor, I was getting plus money on the cash out for 76.5, and I took it because I was like, I could sense they might flirt with that number, and I didn't want to lose both bets. So I took that, and I still have they could win the division bet, which who knows?
How good was the cash out though?
It was
this early.
It was not great, but they were really spiraling for a minute more. I got on it early enough, and then they kept stinking, and it went
so we don't believe, right? Like
I don't believe.
That's the thing. It's like your favorite team, and you watch day in, day out. Like, I don't want to shit on these guys, but I'm just sitting there watching this team, and I'm going like, what are we trying to get excited for? Especially if we're not going to make any moves at the trade deadline.
What's really clear about the Tigers is they can't beat good teams consistently.
Right.
And that's who you have to beat once you get to the postseason. Yeah. And it's ultimately going to come down to Spencer Torkelson at bat with the bases loaded, and he's going to strike out or hit no double play. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That's how every important game is going to end. Or it'll be Scooble on the mound, scoreless through 5, and AJ Hinch will take him out. So one of those two things is going to happen, and they'll implode. I can't, I'm not going to invest. We've had a World Cup summer, which has allowed me not to invest. An unbelievable Wimbledon allowed me not to invest. These next few weeks get a little more tricky because you lose some of those things.
That is good if you love soccer, though, to have the World Cup
incredible.
Distract
It's
you,
been incredible.
Especially if you don't have a baseball team or you don't care about baseball, yeah.
And that'll take me to this. This World Cup will be, and I think there are a lot of people, and we see it in our listener takes here, a lot of people who aren't soccer people, a lot of rubes out there who are coming around and are peaked to the point that they're annoyed by things they don't like in it, but they're more into it than they thought they'd be. The impact of this will be incredibly significant, this World Cup in this country. It's been a great World Cup.
Not because of the U.S., though, right?
Not because of the U.S. team.
I actually watched last Monday when we were in Muskegon. We had it on the TV in the Airbnb.
They shit the bed.
Complete ass.
Not because of this U.S. team. The U.S. team did well enough, got people excited for a while, and that helped. But because it's been a great World Cup. And the 48 teams worked out fine because the round of 32.
But there's no parity, though.
Well, there is a lot. There's plenty of parity.
Only 8 countries have won this thing, right?
Right, and you wind up with the top 4 seeds, so to speak, in the semifinals in France versus Spain and England versus Argentina. But there's been, it's taken late drama from England a couple times, from Argentina a couple times. Spain got pushed by Belgium. There's been a lot of that, right? I was at the Senegal-France game, and Senegal gave France as difficult a game as anybody. There is more parity. I don't have this. This didn't just easily happen that you had these 4. I think France and Spain have been a little more consistently better than others, but I love everything about it. And when you look at the impact of '94 and how it changed, it led to the MLS. I went back to playing soccer and played high school soccer because of it. I know a lot of people of our age group, Jason, who were, we were 14 years old when that hit last time, and it had a tremendous impact. It will this year with young people.
Now, are you back to playing soccer then? Are you going to play? Kick it up a notch?
I don't know if I'm going to go back to the rec league stuff, but the MLS, I don't think, the MLS is trying to basically say, thanks world, we'll take it from here as their tagline. The MLS is going to struggle with that because you know what we like in this country? We like to have the best league, and the MLS is so far from it, and they don't do things a lot of people like. They don't have promotion relegation. We don't have a team in Michigan, for fuck's sake. There's a lot of things that aren't.
Do they have stars though? Remember, because did the MLS get Beckham first, but he was kind of out of his prime.
And they have some good stars. But what this is going to do is the numbers that you'll see this fall with Premier League and the Bundesliga, but especially the Premier League numbers this fall are going to explode in this country, and people staying invested with a lot of the players. With guys like you'll see it with La Liga and Real Madrid. With you've got some great players who are on that team who have been in this World Cup. You've got Holland, who's been with Norway, who will be back on Man City, and a lot of Premier League players that'll be recognizable. You'll see that explode. And there will be an impact in terms of what people care about, and you see people demanding more of the U.S. team. You see people having all sorts of takes on more expansion, which is hilarious because, I usually, I hate the idea of NCAA tournament expansion, but these are very different things. World Cup expansion, this time it worked. It wouldn't change the round of 32. You just have a few more teams, and it might, who knows, if they did it right, lessen the amount of qualifying there was and the amount of international breaks, which is what ruins club soccer to some degree, all these ridiculous weeks off in November and October or whenever they are. So I don't hate expansion if it did something like that, but people are into it. This is going to have an impact that is going to propel the next 30 years. Whether we ever get good enough in this country to compete at the top, what we need more than anything is just a couple guys like the top teams have. When you've got Mbappe and Dembele with France, you just have to get lucky with that. Spain loses. Has Yamal on one side and Nico Williams on the other in the Euros, and Nico Williams is hurt, and they're much less dangerous. That's just one guy Spain lost. Even the great countries lose one guy. Before that, they couldn't score even though they held possession. Even the great, a country as large as the United States, you get lucky with a couple really dynamic stars, it'll make all the difference in the world. If you get your version of Harry Kane, all of a sudden you get Jude Bellingham, something like that comes along in this country.
Do you like Harry Kane?
For a guy who played for Tottenham, I like a guy who left Tottenham. Yeah, for a guy who played for Tottenham, I do. I like Bellingham a ton. I root for the Brits, of course. So anyway, we'll get more.
So how do we get USA Soccer back, Graham? Go ahead.
No, it's they're all sorts.
I heard that there was travel soccer that was so expensive that's the reason why they can't get young stars here. I'm like, what? Soccer's expensive now too? I thought that soccer was supposed to be a sport that anybody can play. You have a stupid fucking ball, 2 nets, and you go, all right. You get everybody out there. What is this travel? What's the cost?
Not enough.
Get a Motel 6, get these kids in. What are we doing?
Right. You do need coaches who are all about development.
$5,000 to play travel soccer.
Yep. You need to grab kids who are really good early. You need to recognize it and get them in the clubs. But also it needs to be the sport that you play on the street, and it's just not going to be that. You need to have a ball at your feet from a young age to help have more of those kids, and it needs to be accessible. It's funny. I remember Adam Nightingale saying with MSU hockey that he was. At one point, I forget what the conversation was about, but he was talking about making hockey more accessible. And it's a nice sentiment.
That's too tough.
But if you made hockey really, really accessible to the best athletes in this country, half the kids who are playing at Michigan State and other places wouldn't be able to play anymore. So they don't really want it to be. It's like that's soccer's biggest problem. Is soccer doesn't really want.
But soccer's the ball. You have shoes. I mean, hockey is tough because of the skates,
the elite clubs.
It's stick, helmet.
Yeah,
ice time.
But I also think it's just been.
You can go kick a soccer ball in the front of the Capitol steps there.
U.S. soccer's way better than it was not that long ago. We just don't have any. We don't have any star power at the European level. We have lots of guys playing good roles on good European clubs. You just don't. It's just sort of like a, I don't know. It's sort of like just think of NBA. A bunch of guys who were like the third and fourth players on an NBA team, where that didn't really exist 20 years ago. So the next step is to have a couple stars, and you put a couple stars on this team all of a sudden, and you take away the dynamics that happened going in with Balagoon and stuff. I think they're fine. I just think this was a crappy performance. I think they need somebody else as a front man besides Pulisic, and they'll get there. He'll be 31 next time. Time to move on from that. Do you have anything else before?
I do. We talked about Skubal not pitching past the 6th or 7th inning, and there was 2 games that really just pissed me off, and it just led to my anger. And poor T had to listen to my rant about the pussification of Major League Baseball, because on July 5th, the Miami Marlins played the A's. And Yuri Perez was perfect, had a perfect game going in the 7th inning. And then the manager, Clayton McCullough, pulls him because he was, in the postgame, was talking about because he wanted to keep him rested because he was thinking about the playoffs. He wasn't thinking about a perfect game. Do you know how many perfect games there have been? I mean, there should be one more with Galarraga.
35.
There's been 24.
Okay.
And Galarraga, I think, would have been 25th, obviously, for that happening. 9. So then they pulled. They ended up taking Perez out of there. The Athletics proceeded to score 5 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. The Marlins still won 9-8. But I'm just like, what a perfect game. If you want the no-hitter thing, I guess that's gone too. And I don't know if there's any going back. Is there any putting toothpaste back into the tube with this, the way we treat these players? Some of these guys, and I was watching the Yankees and Jason Dominguez. I think when we played the Yankees, he ran out for a fly ball, hit the wall, which is fully padded, by the way. And they had to come out, and all these trainers had to look at him and blah. And I get it, they make a lot of money, but these guys have always made a lot of money. And these guys back in the day, and yes, back in my day, I'm an old guy, I can do this shit now. Watching Nolan Ryan and some of these guys, and guys like who just retired, Justin Verlander, who would definitely go deep. He's one of the last of the dying breed of guys that would actually pitch their ass off. Max Scherzer, good luck going out and telling him in a fucking perfect game, hey, Max, guess what? You're coming out. So it's just stuff like this and the pussification of baseball. And I know that because we know more and all the medical stuff, and everybody's got a physio. It happens in golf as well, and it drives me nuts. And I understand, but not everyone can be 100% at all times.
Well, here's
not if there's just an injury or like with Mize, we've dealt with it for his whole career. And I understand because he's injury prone, but you're going to be injury prone because every time if you sneeze and something happens and they do a full body scan, right? It's just like they're going to do that. And then it happened again with former Detroit Tiger Pirates manager Don Kelly. Jared Jones had a no-hit bid. And, Don Kelly ended up playing it safe and pulling him after 6 innings and 77 pitches. I mean, there's just the analytics is ruining it. AJ Hinch pisses me off with some of the things that he does and some of the substitutions. So I don't know if maybe a strike will lead to some of this stuff reverting, or if it's just the end of my great era of time to be alive, of watching sports when men were men and not this pussification stuff.
Well, here's the issue I have with it is, and I understand that if you've got a young player and you're worried about their arm, or if you've had a conversation with them when they come out and they're like, I don't have a lot left, or if you're very aware, say they go
77 pitches for the Pirates,
right? But say if you no hit through 6 and they can't go beyond 7, or whatever.
Perfect game though. Perfect game, it's off the table. You're going. We're going to try.
Yeah, correct. And this is my issue with it. A perfect game is such a moment that if you have to, skip their next start. To give them an extra day off. Do something on the back end of it to
give
allow
them 2
them
weeks off.
Allow them to try to have that moment, right? Yes. And the second they give up a hit or whatever, then you.
But isn't that the point of baseball though? It's to witness this stuff. I mean, I've gone to more than a handful of games at Comerica. Watch a game. Imagine watching that pitcher, go perfect. As a fan, if you're at that game, I'm going, F you guys. You want me to pay all this money? And you got a guy that's making a perfect game. Like, no, I guess no hitters, nobody cares anymore. But a perfect game in the history of baseball has happened 24, 25 times. I just absolutely hate it. It's just like, how do you expect me to sit there and invest my 162 games and all of these games and the money that it costs to go to these things and watch now and all the different apps and shit. And then you're going to pull a guy in a perfect game. F you. Like, I don't know. Like, they're lucky that I just love sports so much that I'm just a sucker and I can never go like, well, I'm done watching baseball. I don't know. If I get to that, I could see myself getting to that point in another 10 years when I'm a super old fart. But, it just pisses me off.
Well, I'll give you one good live bet on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook. If you are watching a game that's a perfect game this day and age or a no-hitter, take the other team in the middle of the game because chances are they're going to pull that pitcher and karma is going to bite them, and you'll probably get like plus 400 or something like that. If the score's within reach, bet on the other team in the fourth or fifth inning.
The couch will end up hedging because something will happen.
Well, yeah, don't listen to Panicky Pete over here in that sense. But just go ahead and dial up the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app and go against the team having the no-hitter in this day and age. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get Nolan the intern's takes and then your takes.
Oh, the intern's here? Oh, Nolan, what's up, buddy? I didn't even see him here.
We'll be right back. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app.
Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with one awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. Firekeepers Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Please like and subscribe to the Couch in the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. You can download the app. They've got sign-up bonuses for new players, everything there. If you want to bet the World Cup futures, whatever it might be, on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Before we dig into some listener takes, Nolan the intern is here, been listening to our discussion, and has a couple takes. Your thoughts, sir, on your president at Michigan State, Kevin Guskiewicz, announcing he was going to return?
I think it's the best thing this university has seen, and I think, I don't know, probably this is the best thing for university since, I guess, March Madness. This is the best thing ever because obviously we had, it has
like
to be,
this
right?
past year's March Madness or like in general?
I mean,
ever?
in general. It wasn't the best. I'll say last year's March Madness when we made the Elite Eight.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that one because this March Madness wasn't too bad.
His life's been pretty short to this point.
I was about to say,
when
a young kid winds up like that, this might be the best thing in my 20 years on this planet. 21 years on this planet.
Yeah, I wasn't.
But do you care? Like, did you care about Guskiewicz coming back? Like, really, as a young person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, he's my president for another year. Unless I get my master's, which probably won't happen. But I mean, I think it's great because obviously we already lost our AD, and we already have an intern once where we got him replaced, which was nice. But seeing him come back was phenomenal. You know, him loving the university. He said so, like in his statement, like how much he saw this university struggle, and he wants to kind of be a part of bring it back to his glory days, sort of thing. And like what Graham was saying earlier, he was saying how Guskiewicz needs to he felt like he needs to take account, like he felt bad, but he needs to like the uncertainty that he caused for the university, and he addressed that in one of his like returning statements. He said how what did he say exactly? He said he's seen a lot of change over the years, and he was sorry for adding to it. And I think that's a really cool thing. I think it was a really good like statement from him. You know, he put the university in a pretty bad spot, and he came back, and he didn't expect everybody to kind of be like, welcome back, and there was no repercussions for it. He just kind of said, it's my fault. I made you guys a little uncertain, put us in a bad spot, but I'm here to try to make up for it, try to bring this university back. And I think that's what a great president does. He kind of takes credit for the good and the bad, but he also, for the bad, he does more for the bad than the good. And I think that's something.
See, why is it weird for me to hear a 21-year-old talk about the president of MSU? Like, I just feel like it's just something like young people shouldn't be talking about, right? Like, why would they worry about
wouldn't
it?
they? I mean,
because like, why? I don't know. Like, when you're 21,
the president of the United States, I feel a little weird, but the president of my school, I care more for him right now than
that is true. You should care about the president of your university and the governor of your state.
Yeah.
You should care, and the mayor of your town. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I think to me, Guskiewicz has become a more interesting figure than he was beforehand. It was somebody I'd like to profile more. Like I find this sort of wishy-washiness, this sort of person who's risen to this level of leadership, struggling with a decision like this makes him more interesting. Does it make him better at his job? No, it does not necessarily. But I do, it's not an ideal. To me, the ideal situation is none of this ever happened for Michigan State. The second best scenario is that I think that he decided to come back. Doesn't mean everybody agrees with that. I think there are people who might think otherwise. But Michigan State has struggled since Luana K. Simon to have the right kind of leader in that place. I know it ended poorly for her, but like she had a really good run there. But
that was a lot of the Nassar stuff.
That's a decade ago. Yeah, and she handled that very poorly. Right. Her comments were, she could have written a different ticket in the way she exited. I think she was going to have to exit, but she could have handled it differently and then sort of left on her own terms, I think. But they've struggled for a decade to get the right person in, and I think they thought they had it, and they still might. And,
I just think the interesting thing about Guskiewicz, and we did talk about it in the first segment, is just now if something else doesn't go his way, is he going to how quickly is he going to try to jump ship again? That's all I'm saying. Like, that's what makes it interesting for me now, because you're going to have to keep an eye on it.
All right, you had some thoughts on the Tigers as well.
Yeah, but before I go to that, this was something I found really funny. They were talking about I saw on Clemson's university page, they posted about them losing, Guskiewicz, and they don't have a president anymore. And they were talking about how the students and the people, like their burner accounts, they were saying they didn't want him because he was a Yankee. They didn't want a Yankee as their president. I thought it was really funny. But
it's not
like a New York
Yankee.
Like
somebody who doesn't like slavery. Said like that kind of.
Yeah, they didn't want old-timey humor. They didn't want any Northern.
Yeah, he's a Yankee, see? He's not one of ours.
I think that's the way Yankees speak. The Southern is a little different. It's.
Yeah, they didn't want the Northerners down there running their schools, so I guess it worked out for them. But
they hired a Klan guy from Georgia, I think, is what they went instead at Clemson. Good on that.
Good pick for them.
Yeah,
another mediocre football year for them. But yeah, going to the Tigers. Like I said, I know that love you. I know you love the Tigers, Nick. But I mean, they're only 3.5 games off the spot in the third AL wild card, which. You're saying, do we believe in them? I will always believe in the Tigers.
But see, I don't want to be that. You're young. Like, you still have hope for a lot of things. I don't. I've seen a lot, dude. I've seen more than you've been alive. I've seen
what's
more than
What's the first Tiger season you remember?
Yeah.
How old are you?
This young guy. Listen to this kid.
I remember watching us in 2012. So we watched
in the crib when you were like peeking out.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old.
No. Still, you never know.
Yeah, but I remember watching. I don't remember a lot. Us losing to the Giants, but my dad goes, "This team will never fucking win again."
See? But see, that's you'll be there. You're going to be like 35, 40, and you're going to be like, God damn, no wonder those guys. I remember I did an intern on this podcast. These guys were old cranky effers, and I never understood why, and now I understand. I get it, because I did the same thing, dude. I got to this age, and I go, Oh, I understand now. Like Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes, we're like, oh, this little cranky weird guy with the eyebrows. But damn it, I'm freaking Andy Rooney now. But I'm just telling my wife, who ignores me.
Were you like happy when you were my age, like optimistic?
Fucking dude, the Lions, even when after we went 0 for the whole season, I'm optimistic still. After all this time,
but not with the Tigers. Though. When we were
I was
age,
dead inside in
anything.
2021. I was absolutely dead inside, and it took going to getting Dan Campbell and going to the Bears game. And Treese and I went to that game, sat in the end zone, and that's when things started to turn, and I started getting back. So it's nice, but I speak like an old war veteran of like I've seen a ton of stuff.
At least you saw a World Series win, though, right?
In '84.
I mean, you still have a World Series.
I was younger. I was 5 years old, man. I don't remember that shit. My dad probably was drinking. I have no idea.
I don't remember it. Our early memories are like the Bad Boys Pistons.
Hell, that's my era.
That's a good era. That's like the best era to see.
I thought that was never going to end.
Yeah, then we lost. then we lost, and then we won 14 games 2 years ago. Now we're back though. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah, the Scooble.
You got more takes, or what are we doing here?
I guess I
got to be out of here in a couple hours.
Oh, a couple hours. I'll make it quick for you then.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. The Scooble sweepstakes.
What's this kid give me?
Calling you Nick too.
What the fuck is this? 2 weeks off. This kid comes in with like a swagger.
What can I say?
What is happening here?
Well, the Scooble sweepstakes, I guess, kind of there's a lot of opportunities for him out there. Besides, people were saying, like you were saying, if he wants to stay, he should sign. And one of the things I saw on Twitter was people saying if you want to sign for 5 years, $250 million, which I think is a good deal for him or for us, and maybe not the best for him because obviously 2 times.
But then why is he going to sign it?
I don't know exactly. We're just saying kind of like the fans saying you should sign this deal because you love it, but obviously he wants to go to a team that wants to pay him more than he's worth, which is
whatever he gets is what he's worth. I mean, that's the hard thing. I mean. The reality, and it'll be very interesting because this offseason, there may not be a season next year. There's going to be a lockout, and so this may be the last time a pitcher who can't go to the 7th inning, can grab 8 years for $400 million or whatever he's going to get. If I were the Tigers, I would not pay him that. I wouldn't as much as you. I mean, I would trade him right now.
How old is he? Isn't like 30?
Like,
he's going to be 30.
29. Yeah. Well, he's already had like 2 elbow surgeries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just don't get me wrong. I would hate to see him go, but seeing him go definitely wouldn't be the end of the world because we have Jackson Joe coming back from injury. And he's the future.
Here's the one.
I mean, he's a back-to-back Cy Young winner. I mean, we're talking about an
elite pitcher.
Dude, he is an absolute pimp.
Losing him is like the worst thing.
But I just hate having it dangled over my head.
Yeah, it's been looming over the team for the past season now, or start of the season. Like we signed him, we got Framber Valdez, we're going all in, and then
who's been ass, by the way.
I mean, he just got put on that leave, the behaviorment leave. I think that's what it's called. It's
bereavement.
Like, bereavement, yeah. Which
they don't teach you that in college.
They don't teach. I didn't know what that was. I saw the tweet. I'm like, what is this? I had to go to the comment section. Like, oh yeah, someone in his family passed away.
You don't Google it. You just go to the comment. Wait till the comments.
Honestly, it's probably easier because someone's like me. They're like, what is this? And they just ask it, and then someone replied saying, yeah, it's basically for the death of the family. I'm like, oh okay, that sucks.
The one thing to think about with that contract going forward is if there is a lockout and if somehow they wind up with some sort of hard cap. You do want to be careful about how much you're paying somebody. You wind up in the jail.
There's never going to be a cap.
You don't think so?
In baseball?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, there will. I think there will be. No way. I think there will be a salary floor.
Those guys will go play with the Savannah Bananas before there's a fucking cap.
Yeah. I don't like the Bananas. I don't like that.
All right, now you're talking my language.
Yeah, I don't like
them either.
Or like that. Yeah, I don't like that thing.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, I like
if people enjoy it, that's fine. I mean, it's like the World Cup.
Well, my mom last summer, she like, do you guys want to go see the Savannah Bananas? My brother and I were like, no. Like it seems really cool, but I just don't enjoy the fact that them like you're going to catch a foul ball and they're out. I feel like an old guy right now, but I was like classic baseball. It's not like my dad or you.
Yeah. Let's all right. Well,
all right, man. It was good seeing you.
Good talking to you, man.
Nolan, we appreciate your takes.
This kid's doing his own podcast in our podcast.
We appreciate your takes.
Take some calls or anything.
Right. Yeah, sure.
All right.
We'll get more from Nolan next Monday as well, and Nolan actually behind the scenes makes this show go. So just so you guys are absolutely aware of that.
Are we gonna have him do anything or? Oh, there you. Sorry, I turned your mic.
The Instagram.
We have an Instagram page.
Oh, that's right.
Couch in the Room.
How's that going?
He just got the stuff.
It's 2 weeks.
It's coming along. Yeah. Hey, he said have it up soon. I said I'll be up soon.
All right. Cool.
Well, so you can look forward to if there are complaints on the Instagram page.
If you guys want to comment, I'm there.
Yeah.
Throw some shade. I'm all for it.
All right, let's. You ready to dig into these listener takes?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on. All right, Eric Schultz up first. Number one, it can't be stated how huge it was that Guskiewicz came back, both for athletics and the school as a whole. And two, Dusty knew the writing was on the wall with Ward Manuel and figured now's the time to get out. And three, swimmer's itch effing sucks, man. It was gone from Higgins Lake for nearly a decade. Not anymore.
You ever dealt with swimmer's itch?
I don't think so.
Man.
I mean, I've itched.
When I was a kid.
But I don't know if it was swimmers. Like, how do you tell? Is there a difference?
It's just something that's in the water. It's this little, I don't know what sort of critter, what it is that creates it. But it's Lake Leelanau. I don't know if they still have it. When I was a kid, we used to go up there, and where we stayed, like, had a backyard into Lake Leelanau. It was like a block and a half from Lake Michigan, so you didn't really have to. But if you went into Lake Leelanau, you had to dry off hard and fast. And otherwise, it was not great. Yeah, no, it sucks.
Really good penis.
Yeah, so that's.
Does someone tell you that before you get out? I mean, I don't know if I get into the water, like, okay, when you jump in, when you get out, you have to dry off soap.
We stopped going in after a while.
Yeah,
you learn that. You learn that for sure. The Ward Manual thing, we will get into as these go along. This is an interesting story that's developing, and there's reporting as we're doing this podcast today. I mean, there's.
Are we going to be shocked?
No, but there's now allegations that Ward Manuel hid evidence of cheating by the football program and things like that from the Detroit Free Press. There's a lot of stuff out there. Anyway,
is Nolan Finley all over that?
This is Nolan Finley's at the News, and he's a columnist who's out to get Michigan State. That's a different conversation.
Gotcha. Dominic next. Number one, the Celtics traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George. Tell me why, Couch. Cute how the second apron is now some crisis now that my world-beating Celtics are completely disbanded. Fuckery. 2, Couch, you're going to need to give a take on the Eargood-Harns feud. Now, here are the ground rules. Say you enjoy working with both of them. Don't take a position whatsoever. Then pivot to a live read without remotely addressing it. And 3, that's
really what I was planning.
That's the guy who listens to the show. 3, the apology hand wave when you clip the net and win a point in tennis needs to stop. There's no reason to apologize. It's cucky and weird. Instead, you should say, yeah, bitch, get faster, you chump.
The hand wave is just polite. It keeps things from getting out of hand. It's common courtesy. It's like you cut somebody off in traffic, or not that better. Yeah, they let you in traffic. Little hand wave through the back mirror.
And then if they don't, if you're the person that lets them in, they don't give you a hand wave. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
never
that's right. Same deal. If you don't get the hand wave, no need to not.
Stupid ass.
Yeah, the Eargood-Harns thing that people have seen on Twitter, that I enjoy working with both of them. I have no position whatsoever, and I would urge everybody to download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app.
I don't think I think it's a one-sided feud since one person has the other blocked.
That's true.
I don't know if you can have a feud if one person has no idea.
Well, no, but Harns has been replying with the screenshots of it. I mean,
I know, and I'm sure you think you're good at seeing that. I'm sure how do you just take him off the face of the earth on your Twitter?
Yeah, I don't.
Harns, dude.
I do feel bad for the Celtics. This deal happened after.
I felt bad for him just because Paul George. I'm like, who's trading for Paul? Like Paul George. I feel like if he gets into the Hall of Fame, which he will because everybody gets in, I just think that it diminishes your Hall of Fame if Paul George gets in. The most overhyped basketball player I think I've known.
I think you and I have a chance to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
We really do.
Way too many people into the Basketball Hall of Fame. The other thing here is, and this is my problem with the cap in general, that essentially is a hard cap with the second apron, is that it stops the ability to build a team and to retain your own players. And I don't want the age of super teams, free agency, and guys moving all around. I want incentives for players who you develop that are with you, that do things that your fan base loves. I mean, Jaylen Brown won a championship in Boston, played his ass off this last year, and he makes too much money for what the cap is now, and all these guys are coming to terms with this. Jalen Duren's finding out the hard way, this is the wrong year to ask for more money than you're worth, because you cannot overpay. Like the Celtics are making it clear, here's a team that won a championship 2 years ago. Even if you have an All-NBA number 2 on your team, you can't afford that. It's better to have one max guy and a bunch of complementary pieces. And so when you look at the Pistons, they've got their guy in Cade Cunningham. Around him, Do you have a second max guy, or do you just create the best depth and complementary team around him you can? These are the questions. If you have 2, it gets hard to have depth. If you have 3, you have 0 depth. And I think that's the reality of it. And then there were other issues, I think, with whether.
But you're telling me there was not a better deal on the table for the Celtics.
It doesn't sound
I just
like
don't
it.
believe
Everything
that.
I've read and listened to, it does not sound like there was.
You
much
hated
else out there.
Jaylen Brown that much?
Well, it doesn't sound like nobody in the league wants to pay him what he's going to make the next 3 years. And people didn't think, and there was a lot of talk that the basketball analytics didn't love who he was.
No.
I think more than that,
or he does a podcast every day.
I think more than that is people didn't love who he is as a basketball player, as the second guy on a team, and you're probably not going to win a championship if he's your first guy.
Ben Chalik next. After it was confirmed Guskiewicz was coming back, there seemed to be a tone J Batt wasn't wanted back. Even if he wanted to change his mind like Gus did, was that because people didn't think he was doing a good job, or because he was way past the point of no return? And from Rich Searing. With Kevin Gus now staying, I can't help but wonder if J Batt jumped the gun too soon, but I also hear the interim was the brains behind him. I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I look, John Palumbo, I have had good interactions with. I think he's a really nice guy and maybe a fierce.
It's a great name, too.
Maybe a fierce talent, and we'll find out. I think there's a lot of hopeful reporting that when you hear he's the brains behind Batt. I mean, that's just, this is what's happened, so everybody root for the new guy and shit on the old guy. I think Palumbo seems really smart. Batt hired him to be the CEO of Spartan Ventures, which was his baby. And I have nothing but good interactions and good things to say to this point about Palumbo. So I'm not dismissing that. I just don't think people also know that yet when they're telling you that or saying that. I think that the J Batt thing came about, like, he's very quickly, like, I don't think he needed to leave, and I think people felt that too. Now, he may have seen it differently. And I don't know the full story. I don't know if he looked at the situation at MSU and thought there wasn't maybe as much as deep as pockets as he hoped. In the first opportunity where it made sense for him to go, he was quick to get out. That may have been the case as well. I don't think there's a lot of love lost there, but I think a lot of it has to do with him, the words he said in joining Kentucky, and that he didn't have time for people to ever sort of feel warmly about him. I mean, that you come for a year and you leave, people are going to feel like you're, betraying something you were trying to do. And he made a lot of big moves and then jumped ship. I understand why people don't feel great about him. I also understand from his perspective, if he thought Guskiewicz was going to leave and he took the job because Kevin Guskiewicz hired him, I'm not going to completely shit on that decision either.
David Jackson next. Why the hell is MSU cutting the buyout for J Batt down? Are we trying to remain friends with Batt and with Kentucky? No one cares about being Batt's buddy. He and UK can go pound sand. Not getting the full buyout is nothing short of malfeasance. Who else is outraged by this? And bonus, this new Michigan basketball coach is Brian Ellerby redo, and I'm here for it. Even after a natty, however they built that roster, they're still not serious about basketball.
Well, we don't know that.
I'm not talking about Michigan.
I mean, obviously, his record at Oklahoma State was not great. He did have Cade Cunningham. But also, this is a different era in how you build a team, and also people grow. I mean, like, Mike Boynton might now be ready for – I mean, I think he was influential in the roster that was just built. He may be ready for this opportunity in ways that he wasn't quite at Oklahoma State, or maybe this era of college basketball is something that he's built to do. I don't know. I don't know if he's a good coach or he's not a good coach. But also understand this. I've seen this done before with the 2-year contract. Ask Bill Cubitt how it worked out at Illinois when they hired him for 2 years, and you get in this spot where you lose a coach unexpectedly, you hire a top assistant. The 2-year deal, now Cubitt never even did he get the, I don't, was there one, was he even there a full year until they brought in Lovie Smith because they had, and kind of screwed him quite a bit. But when you have a 2-year deal, you're never going to have a coach on a 1-year contract because you can't recruit. But a 2-year deal is essentially a 1-year deal. They basically left the interim tag and said it's a 2-year contract, but they can get out of it after 1 year. I mean, that's what they did. It was just it was easier than if they couldn't get a couple of the big names, and I don't think they could. This was the smart thing to do. I don't think they know 100% if this will work. I don't think they're going to have the same AD by the time the decision has to be made. So that'll be different too. We'll see how long it is. Look, losing Dusty May is a blow for Michigan. There's no question. Whether Boynton is a guy who can keep it going, we'll find out. But how much Dusty May was integral to the not just the recruitment, but the roster construction and seeing what that team needs, that's the key. Because that staff last year put together not just great talent, but guys who fit and wound up fitting. And you've got to be able to do that year in and year out.
Chris next. So we got an anonymous source leaking that the Michigan board is going to meet Thursday to review this independent investigation into Ward. Calling it now. He will step down and retire early this week, and that report will never see the light of day, and no reporter will ever look into it like usual. And bonus, the only better news than Gussie returning for reasons I still don't fully understand is that we also got rid of J Batt in the process. The icing on the cake is getting a $4 million buyout back after paying GT $2 million. That's Georgia Tech, I guess. And Batt about $1.8 million for a year of services. Absolute bargain to get rid of that hack.
Yeah, so essentially a free year of Batt and a free buyout, right? Or for them.
All right.
Sense. So
getting value finally. Michigan State University getting value.
Yeah, again, calling him a hack, people feel all sorts of different ways. Some people don't like Guskiewicz. They don't like the new
but Michigan State fans have the right to call him a hack. I just feel like if you're going to bounce after a year, F you. Like, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care J Batt left. I get it for Kentucky. But, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I wish you well on your future endeavors.
Yeah.
Kevin from Rochester Hills. Number one, if Holland, how do you say it? Holland or Mbappe were on the U.S. men's national teams, they would easily win the World Cup. And 2, Pulisic would come off the bench for Detroit City FC. And 3, 100-degree weather is better than 10 below. And bonus, Ward Manuel is a scumbag, but he brought championships.
Yeah, well, the question really is how many people would happily trade what Michigan is going through and has gone through to have the titles they've had. They had a national title in football and men's basketball. That's as big as it gets.
But do people respect it? Like, it would be good. It would be great to celebrate it, great to be in the moment. But 5 to 10 years after the fact, when everybody looks back and goes, "Oh yeah, that's the year Michigan won." Oh, you mean when they cheated?
I think people.
I don't know.
I mean, while there is the whole idea of tampering in basketball, whatever. Nobody's ever really put their name behind that. I think people nationally respect the basketball title and respect Dusty May quite a bit.
True.
I think the football title is the one that people don't respect. So I think one of those two
Gotcha.
they absolutely respect.
By the way, number 3, he's completely right. All these people that are complaining because it's too hot. I want to see you in December and throw multiple snowballs at your face and go, remember when you were complaining in July about how
you would
hot
rather
it was?
100 degrees than 10 below?
1,000%. I hate winter with a great passion.
I would take 10 below.
No.
Yeah.
Can't you? Alan Haller was a better AD and a better Spartan than J Batt, and baked. Countdowns to football are ass. Long live summer.
You should enjoy this moment because when it's gone, look, football season's amazing. I loved it. I no longer remember when you're in school and like you were excited about football, but also meant school was coming back, and you're like, oh god, it was a weird.
We had to swing by Target when we went to visit my sister. We had to get her something. I'm in Target. There's kids that are already back to school shopping.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, good. What? In July? No, get out of here.
That's the worst. That's worse than on a Sunday night. Seeing the 60 Minutes promo when you're still a long way to go. You're just all you want to do is watch football and enjoy the weekend. Yeah,
but the countdowns to football, they're not ass because they make the summer seem longer because it's like only 39 weeks until the start of college football or whatever. It doesn't seem like it. When you get down to like the teens, you go, only 8 weeks or something.
What is ass is the Big 12 having their football media day 2 days after July 4th, before the Wimbledon semifinals and unbelievable. I mean, just can you imagine being there? I can't imagine reading any of that shit.
Was that the one where all the guys were behind the one guy?
Yeah.
The guy that was from some
Texas
Spartan
Tech,
Illustrated kind of thing. Yeah.
No, look, he's a radio. I've interacted with him. He's a nice enough guy. I don't. But the point being, I mean, that it was if media days are fairly pointless anyway. But at least the Big Ten's is like almost 4 weeks later, 3 full weeks later. I mean, it's at least you're approaching the beginning of August, and and football season.
2 days after the 4th, though.
You're barely out of June.
I love football, but you can't.
Yeah, who wants to be into that? I mean, that's just if you're spending money to cover that, man, you are wasting freaking money for sure.
Andrew Zuiza next. I've unintentionally proven Jeremy Fear's innocence 3 times just in this past week. Twice, I lost my balance forward, and the other, I was moving a bag of concrete into my car. All 3 times, one leg came up, once hitting my dad on the upper thigh. Good thighs, apparently, on dad. Bonus, my son was born this past week and also took my daughter camping for the first time. The joy she had running the dunes and camping like I did when I was young makes fatherhood the best thing there is. Congrats on your daughter.
First of all, I'm impressed. In the same week your son was born, you took your daughter camping for the first time. That's a hell of a week, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, you're a good parent.
Yeah, geez. I can't even imagine pulling that off. You must have had some good help from the folks and in-laws and such.
So what has he proven about Jeremy Fear? Like, I don't understand. Like,
the idea that when his leg, you remember when he got in trouble for kicking
when he
people?
got shot?
No. Totally separate situation. When his leg comes,
I thought Andrew shot himself.
No.
Okay. All right.
Totally different thing.
I'm back on the same page. Oh, okay, my bad.
So at Minnesota, when his leg comes up and he kicks the guy because he's pushed off balance, his point is, when you go off balance like that, it is.
Listen, I'm trying to find the fear shooter, so I'm sorry. It's always on my brain when I hear something like that.
Yeah. So he's innocent, Andrew says. Yeah.
I got you. MZA, number 1. Anto Bonke is the second best player on MSU's basketball team next year.
Oh, I missed number 2 and 3. There might have been more from MZ.
No, it was just that. Setting it off. Yeah. I'm calling him Bonke still. I don't care.
Okay, let me ask you this. If say Anton Bonke is the second best player on MSU's team.
I'm scared.
Is that good or bad?
I feel like that's bad. Like if he's balling, I'm down. I just don't, you know what I mean? I just don't see Bonke coming in and.
So I think it's
if he's the second best player. Like,
I think it might be good. Because I think if say he was, and I'm not saying he's going to be, but if he were to be that.
I'm sorry, Lake, but.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I give up on Cohen Carr.
Are we giving up on Cohen Carr?
Well, I wouldn't say Cohen Carr's going to be number 2 either, but I just think like between the other options of who could, somebody else out there, when you look at Jervis, for example, or Jordan Scott, like somebody's going to be pretty good. And maybe it's Carr, maybe it's Caleb Glenn, whatever. I think Cam Ward's going to have a big year. But so if the best player, and this is counting a healthy Jeremy Fears, were to wind up being Anton Bonke, I think it just winds up that he's good, that he's had a really good year, and that they're in a good place.
I need to see that. Okay. Sparty Barb next. Thoughts from my trip to Moneyball on July 9th. Number 1. She's got 3 quick takes here. The last 5 minutes of each game is some of the most competitive basketball you will see this summer. 2, the highlight of the evening, watching 5'11" Carlos Medlock Jr. throw down a windmill dunk. And 3, the scariest moments of the evening came when Carr and Glenn both went down hard in the same slippery spot on the court. The collective gasp from the crowd said it all. And bonus. Welcome back, Graham and Jason. Graham, I hope Cora enjoyed Marquette.
We've not been yet. We're taking her Marquette in August. So that's still to come. We'll see how that goes. We're a little worried about the 6.5 hour, maybe a 13-hour drive. It could take us.
You guys fly there?
Weeks. You can. I don't know if that would go better. We are terrified to take her on a flight right now. I now feel for all those parents that
can't get their kid to shut up on a plane.
She's usually really good, but we just had a couple moments where there's just no consoling her. And if that were to happen on a plane, which it very well might, it would have to be certain hours of the day that aren't her witching hours. That we would have to try that. One of the best things about Moneyball is that there's never been, in terms of what I've seen, as a serious injury there from an MSU player. So that I do fear for the whole operation. Like the first time that were to happen, like that would be it might be the end.
We need to wipe up that floor then.
Yeah, gotta get the floor.
Frank Vachner next. Despite the U.S. shitting their pants against Belgium, this is the most entertained I've been watching the World Cup. Which semifinal will be the best? You have Yamal versus Mbappe in Spain versus France, and Messi versus Kane in Argentina versus England. I think I'm more of a soccer-nista now. What does that mean?
I'm looking for it, like a barista, soccer-nista, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what a soccer-nista is.
Frank. No, we don't need to do that, Frank.
Spain, I mean, first of all, 3 o'clock Tuesday, 3 o'clock Wednesday. two unbelievable games. I know some people are complaining about the times, but this is the time the Champions League games are on anyway.
It's a good time to have it where everybody can watch.
Well,
you try to grow the game, and
soccer's going to take off in this country. Work days are going to change. We're going to work 7 to 3 in this country because the bottom line is 3 o'clock is time for the big soccer games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
That's what's going to do it.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I am looking forward to, I think, Spain. Both I'm looking forward to tremendously. I mean, I've already scheduled a nap for Cora with a tranquilizer just to make sure she's out.
Some NyQuil.
Yeah, some Tylenol PM for the AM for children or whatever. But I think Spain, France is the one I'm most intrigued about. I think I know what England and Argentina is going to look like.
Jeff Peterson next. Save for the theatrics and fake drama. World Cup coverage has done a fantastic job showing how physical football really is. Despite the histrionics, I'm a growing fan.
It does do. I think people respect the sport and they see what these guys go through.
It's more the fans, to be honest. It's the people that are fans of soccer that just try to get you to watch and won't leave you alone.
How much of it have you watched?
We watched the U.S.
That's like the worst.
The game on Monday.
It's the worst.
I tell you, the final.
Fuck the
I'll
US
have it
team.
on. No,
this is why I hate Pulisic. Like that is it right there.
See, this is why you hate soccer. I can't even try to talk to a soccer fan. They just end up going on a rant. They try to get you to watch, and then when you try to show interest, they just run over you with their take.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, give me your take. I apologize.
No, I don't have any take. I just was saying, like in the final game, I'm a viewer of significance. Like I'm not saying like I don't think soccer is not a sport. I'm not one of those crazed people. I just think it's immensely boring, and I don't like the people like Graham that watch it and try to get you all excited.
Will you watch?
It just kind of annoys me, but I think the final will have it on unless they have it on at 1 in the afternoon. When's the final?
The final is Sunday, maybe 3. Hold on one sec.
Are you raising your voice at me?
Sunday at 3. Sunday at 3.
There you go.
So
it'll be on the third TV.
What bothers me about the USD more than anything is they more and more people tuning in, and people like you with their one opportunity to really see something great, and that's what was out there. Of all the soccer we've seen, whiny ass Pulisic who's always hurt, and this team that was, just couldn't get over the Balogun situation and just looked like total shit against a Belgium team that was finding itself. It's better than the U.S., but like my disdain for this U.S. team is at an all-time high. Just all-time high. What
about Alexi Lalas? Who are you more annoyed by?
Why is he our representative on that panel?
Is that dude really bad? Is he? Because I remember like in '94, like he got
just an average player.
He was drinking big gulps in '94, and I remember he had that goofy hair.
He's an average player who couldn't play today, and I don't get the appeal of him at all. I mean,
but he hasn't done anything, right? Like, has he done something like really bad, like outside of all this?
No. I mean, people don't like his political takes too, but that's beside. But there are lots of that stuff. That's not. He just.
Put that aside.
He's not that good on, Thierry Henry, who's on that panel too, or Rebecca Lowe had, political takes you didn't agree with. You put it aside because they're really good at their jobs. They're really good on those panels. He is not, and so that's, it's just,
This is the most soccer I've ever talked about.
I'm glad the U.S. team's out. I just couldn't stand that.
What did we do? Like 4 years ago, did we talk this much World Cup?
Well, 4 years ago, it was because the tournament was in Qatar. It was played in the winter. It was played during football season.
Oh, God.
It was, and 8 years ago, we had just not yet. This is the first, we had almost started the pod. We started like weeks later. So this is our first pod with the World Cup in the summer.
Have they ever talked about just not doing it every 4 years and doing it every 2, or does that ruin the whole vibe?
Yeah, you don't want it.
That ruins the vibe.
Well, they have the Euros. All the teams in Europe play every 2 years, and the Copa America.
It's the Ryder Cup, yeah. Okay. All right. That's enough.
It's a lot more coming.
That's wow. Okay. Skiles, long pinky fingernail next. Number 1, soccer is a fall, winter, spring sport. It's idiotic to play it in 100 degrees with 90% humidity. 2, hydration breaks completely alter these games. And 3, that said, what a tournament. Messi, Mbappe, Kane dominating in a dream Final Four.
It's as good as it gets, this Final Four. I mean, I am as excited. I have not been this excited about a sporting event as these semifinals in a long, long time. The hydration breaks do ruin momentum. They change games. They've got to go. In this country, first of all, there are lots of places that are too hot to play. They make Qatar move it, and granted, it's like 106 degrees in Qatar today. But, like, Miami should not have outdoor games in July. I mean, that game, it ruined that game between England and the Swiss. Like, it was just not the Swiss, England and Norway. Because it became a slog. Nobody was moving as quick. The passes weren't. It ruined that game. It was like 95 degrees with like 99% humidity, and nobody had ever played in that. Why was that game scheduled for? Miami. You can be in the country, but you don't get to host shit, man. You're not in the winter. Like, I'm sorry, not in September.
Have
not
it
till
at
October.
You couldn't play at night?
Yeah, even then.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
No? Andrew Gauthier next. Rory takes the Open this week. Tommy runner-up. France takes the World Cup, and Mbappe gets the Golden Boot. Allez les buts.
He's a fan of the French team. Rory to take the Open. Is that one of your picks?
Currently, I have 75 bets in. I do not have any on Rory currently.
75 bets.
I seriously, dude. Hitting that Tom Kim bet. And then I went to this other app where they give you 150 in free bets. So I was firing placement bets. And
new customers, go to the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app, and there's some new bet offers there. A great way to get in, obviously bet responsibly, but the Open this coming weekend, a great way to get yourself in. World Cup time. And obviously the Tigers are going to go on another run. They're due, right? So,
I think I'm betting responsibly. I think, I know it's a lot of bets, but I feel like I'm getting my money in right. That's all that matters to me. Mm-hmm. But I think I have the field surrounded, unless Rory wins, I think.
Rory wins, you lose like $6,000.
No, because I still have some placements, some top 8, top 10s where things can work out for me. Munfield Keg next. The American announcers are by far the worst at the World Cup. Give me Ian Dark any day of the week for U.S. games. His call of Landon Donovan's goal is an all-timer. Plus, he used to announce the one EPL game we got on ESPN back in the day, so many American fans are already familiar with him.
Really, the key is having the British accent. That gives credibility instantly when you're watching soccer.
It gives you credibility in almost anything.
Yeah,
I think.
It really does. Humor, a lot of things. British humor is just better. It makes... even the great American comics would be better with British accents.
Olivia in Birmingham next. Graham got my husband and I psyched for the World Cup. The flopping makes soccer unwatchable. Most of the players are mercenaries, and we honestly think it's rigged. Overall, it feels like bread and circuses and rooting for laundry.
Well, here's the thing.
How did Graham get you excited?
Because
he gives you 9-leg parlays for plus 130.
Plus 300 that won, by the way. But I would say this. I know that there is some flopping, but
some.
Well, no. A lot of the times when you see a flop, what looks like a flop, or what looks like a player getting injured, and then they're fine a few minutes later, it's because that cleat is hitting their ankle bone or something. It's not that they're injured, but it hurts like hell. And they get stepped on with that. It hurts like hell. And then you saw Argentina is probably playing England, is only left in this tournament because a player was penalized for flopping. The guy from Switzerland who flopped, and because he flopped, the guy from Argentina got a yellow card. And when they looked at the review, they saw that it was a flop, that he caused the contact and flopped. They switched the yellow card to him. It was his second yellow card. He was kicked out of the game. Changed the entire game. Switzerland had to play a man down. It cost Switzerland a spot in the semifinals. So flopping gets penalized. It does.
Skylar Verdon, my least favorite part of the World Cup is when the USA loses. Everyone gives their take on why soccer in the USA doesn't work. I personally feel the downtrodden crypto market is stopping the USA from winning a World Cup. That and Jason, because he doesn't support soccer.
It's really on you, man. That's it.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Actually, blame Graham because he's the reason why I just don't like it. Be honest with you, I get why you guys like it and why you watch it. I understand. It's just most guys like you, it just kind of annoy me. I'm like,
I
you gotta watch it. You don't know what you're missing. It's always like that guy. That guy is the equivalent of guy that's watching it for the first time in 4 years and then giving his critique.
And I am equally annoyed by many in the soccer community. The Tottenham fans, Detroit City FC fans. You go to a Detroit City FC game, you don't even see the game. It's just the poofs of pink and blue smoke. I get it. I get it.
Craig Robinson next. While I usually hate making things about Michigan, the reason why they hate Izzo so much is that he has been more loyal and committed to that university than any of their coaches combined. The dedication to MSU through lots of thick and thin is beyond admirable.
Yeah, They hate
the American way.
They hate
Except
Izzo.
America has gotten soft.
Because he is MSU, right? Izzo and MSU are synonymous, and if that's your rival, and Izzo has had great success there. And yeah, I mean, they're going to find things to nitpick, and Izzo does things that if you're not a fan, like if Izzo was on the other side, I think people would feel the same way at MSU because he is demonstrative. He can come across as unpleasant at times, and I think that so you can grab onto whatever you want from Izzo. He is a complicated guy with a lot. He can be a sweet person one day and he can be a jackass the next, and you can find whatever you want with him there. But he is unquestionably loyal to MSU and has been unbelievable to that place.
I mean, wouldn't it be weird though if Michigan fans liked Izzo or
it would be bizarre.
Respected him? I mean, I think it's.
Although I do think
one
a lot
of the
of
great parts is that it drives them nuts at Izzo.
I do. Michigan State fans, I do think, respected and liked Beeline a little bit.
True.
So I think you can pull it off.
Yeah. Big John Hogg, number one, I had a golf trip and stayed at Firekeepers. Great accommodations. Dacey's Tap Room and Sportsbook were great. I'd recommend it to anyone. Cue the live read. And two, once you retire from a sport, you legally shouldn't be allowed to unretire. There's nothing left to prove, and it never ends well. CC Conor McGregor. I know. I didn't even. Michigan fan Jordan asked me if I was watching it. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like all of those, like the fights on Netflix. Like I'm just done being fooled by any of this old school shit. That like,
I wish I'd bet against him. That's all. That's the only thing.
I don't even. Was there a number that was worth?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I wasn't paying.
On Holloway.
Wasn't paying.
I saw Drake bet $1 million at Conor McGregor. I mean, how does that guy have that much money? Where you can betting $1 million? That is not betting responsibly.
No, but
the live read.
But you know what's a smarter bet, a smarter financial move, that is a smarter financial move than spending $2 million on a defensive tackle for your alma mater. By the way,
how?
Because you're just throwing that money completely away.
I'd rather do that than bet on Conor McGregor, who blew out his knee 2 hours prior.
I'm just saying you still got
like a corrupt MMA kind of world. I hate that stuff.
You might have a 1 in 10 chance of getting your money back. You're getting zero back.
Yeah, but at least they'll kiss your ass for a while. You lost that money, and it didn't even take 5 minutes to lose that cash. At least the university you donate that to will kiss your ass.
That's fair.
Mike, everyone on the favorite makes me pause.
It's good to pause when the public is really heavy on somebody,
especially with golf bets.
Yeah.
Even though Tom Kim was a popular pick this past week, but yeah, when I see a golf bet that's kind of that I've made, and I'm like, oh shit, everybody's on it.
Yeah,
it's usually dead.
Not great. Yeah.
Rugby Sweet 40 next. I've been listening since 2018. First time writing in. Always enjoyed the show.
Appreciate you.
Number one, while President Guskiewicz's return is great and all, I do have some questions. Why? What changed? Were there issues with Batt and Gus? Was it truly the Spartan community's response and a long phone call with Izzo that changed his mind? And two, with the U.S. soccer team, Tillman and Belgian are the new faces of U.S. soccer. Tillman showed star poise and talent, while Balogun was the stone-cold killer we expected Pulisic to be. He was a disappointment and appears to be made of glass. His availability is becoming an issue.
Yeah, I mean, the Pulisic is not a star. Is part of the problem. He's just not. He's a good player, and he's fragile, and comes
Who's
across.
Who's bigger pussies, though? Baseball players or soccer? I think it could be baseball.
Baseball by far.
By far? I don't know. Come on, that's a soccer guy saying that.
By far.
You can't believe it. You don't believe that. But it's really close.
To your questions on you, I don't know all the answers. I mean, my sense with Guskiewicz is that he had a genuine change of heart, coaxed by influential people wanting him back, including Izzo. Yeah.
Tom and Lupe.
Maybe Steven.
I mean, Steven was in on the discussion, I'm sure.
Yep.
Max, Guskiewicz is back. The donors are opening up their wallets. The money's rolling in, and the recruits are flocking to East Lansing. All is well, and we are on the verge of another golden era in MSU football. Reality or bake take? Both. Both.
Yeah.
And it's good to say stuff like that out loud. I do the same thing. Just to say it, just to hear it. Maybe we can start.
Why do you say both?
I don't know. Just reality or bake. It's both.
Well, Guskiewicz is back. So the first part is definitely
reality.
Are
the recruits flocking to East Lansing?
Well, it depends on the level.
Money's rolling in, but we don't know. Every time we mention the $401 million, I got Chris Solari jumping at me and saying, well, like, how dare you? No. That's not all the money. And Couch telling you that's not where all the money's going. Is it good?
The initial reporting on that by all of us was shit because it led people not to understand what was happening. The Guskiewicz is back is true. The golden era stuff, like I don't know, those of us who lived it, more than a decade ago, I don't know that ever happens again. Like that was incredible.
Don't say that.
Like and this was when Nolan was
then
like
what's
a child.
The point of watching?
What's that?
Wait, so you're saying that's never going to happen again? So what's the point of?
I'm not saying it never, but just unlikely to be that good. I'll say this though, because the last few years have been so painful and so bad. The next good era is going to feel mighty golden. Like it's going to feel like, it's going to feel really good. It's not going to take the contrast between what people have been experiencing with MSU football and competitive football where it feels like they've got a chance. Like it's hard. One of the great things about the only great thing I should say about a shitty period of time like MSU has gone through, MSU football has gone through, is that you almost get to do the initial rise again. And that there's nothing that feels better. And, when winning 10, 11 games, 12 games, then winning 8 doesn't feel great. But when you've been where they're at, like an 8-win season, if they're really competitive against good teams, whenever this happens, is going to feel tremendous. And that is something that you don't get unless you've been shit. So there's that.
Spartholomew, stop me if you've heard this one before. A Detroit team sits and makes marginal, if any, improvements while everyone else around them improves and adds actual talent. The Pistons legit will go from a 1 seed to missing the playoffs. So sick of the city's attitude towards free agency and trades. And bonus, help me understand why Michigan just can't fire Ward and he has to get bought out. Because surely if he's as dirty as it seems, it should surely be possible to just fire the guy.
Well, because they have a board of trustees that's about as functional as Michigan State's, right? I mean,
I'm sure he knows stuff that other people that are attached that, and are scared to have him fired because
the other thing is a lot of the stuff that's happened at Michigan is, has been under his watch, but isn't him directly. And so I think there's that side of things. You want to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed and all that good stuff. To the Detroit thing, the Pistons, I don't know that this is going to be awful for them. I don't know that they're done this offseason entirely yet. At some point when we have Amari on again to try and get a sense of what he thinks the long-term play is here and when Duran signs and how that, because they do lose some flexibility going forward as these bigger contracts come in. But
I'm willing to give Langdon some time, but it is when every team, your favorite team in the area, is doing the same thing as an organization, it just gets annoying. So, the Pistons are getting lumped into the same.
I agree. Yep. But you're right.
Are people really mad that we didn't try to trade for Jaylen Brown?
You can't spend that kind of money on
right.
Brown.
I mean, you can't be mad at that. So we got to give him some time and see what happens. I thought the draft went well, I guess. I don't know. So whatever. Kurt Wisniewski, Guskiewicz staying at MSU is the most Tom Izzo thing ever.
It's up there. Yep. It's up there.
Why don't you write something? Huh?
Izzo did a Guskiewicz like 40 years ago in '86. He left for Tulsa for 6 weeks and came back. So there you go.
You should ask him about it.
I did. I wrote a story about it in 2017-18 or whatever. You can find it. Yeah. It's 6 weeks in
Tulsa. Do I
Tulsa.
have to search for it, or can you just repost
if you write,
these?
Hold on. Give me some off real quick.
Off.
I am the passenger.
Free Ubers.
And I ride and I ride.
Yeah. So in 2017, Michigan State was playing its NCAA tournament games in Tulsa, and it was 31 years ago. Izzo learned and suffered for 7 weeks in Tulsa. That's the headline.
Wow.
Yeah. So
can you tweet that out or something? So I can go to that, or do I have to go to the
LSJ? I can
see a McLaren ad. Search.
I can send it out from the show account. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alan Perlstein, Kevin Guskiewicz went into the portal, committed to another team, changed his mind, and now he's back on our team. MSU is giving Barnum and Bailey a run for their money. Just give the keys to the university to Izzo. He seems like the only person there who would know how to run it.
Izzo is in the perfect role as the basketball coach and as somebody who is the ambassador and sort of a figurehead and an influential, stable.
And he's in his 70s.
Yes.
Izzo's
doing what Izzo should be doing. Yeah. But having him is incredibly important in terms of overall leadership and incredibly important in this situation. And, they got to make sure they got their shit together, as I wrote a few weeks ago, before he's done. That's how long they got the MSU football rolling. You cannot have the football program struggling, questions the athletic department about fundraising and other things like that. You can't have that stuff happening when Izzo's done.
Why not use? Next. My take is Connor Earbad is a Michigan shill and is exactly who we thought he was. No more defending.
He's just, I mean, I've spent enough time with the guy.
Welcome to the blue wall.
There are lots of blue curtain, blue wall characters out there. Connor Eargood is not one of them. He's just not. He isn't. I mean, the guy
Connor
is
Earbad.
He is a. Yeah. He is aggressive, young, energetic, curious. He's got a lot of good traits. He's
not David Harns, so
he is.
He's got that going for him.
I didn't say that either. But I think Matt Wenzel, who's on covers MSU for M Live, calls him, and this endearingly calls Connor a peppy little spitfuck. That's the nickname.
Ew. What?
Doesn't that,
to his face?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's
Did
like,
Matt want you saying that on the air there?
Probably not. But he's like, but just because he's like, he's into it. He's young, he's aggressive, he's invigorated. It's like, yeah. I think that's what he says. Maybe I made that up.
Did intern Nolan say that in the break?
No.
Okay. Steve, the Rube knows his way around a golf course, a machine off the tee. Graham, how well do you know Jason? Does he favor a baby draw or a power fade as his go-to tee shot?
We have played putt together, but never real golf.
By the way, shout out to Steve and his wife Karen that had us to the Muskegon Country Club over the break and treated us to a lovely day of golf. Thank God I played. That's as best as I've played in a while. So I don't want to,
jinx it.
Steve saying like, people golf with me and think I'm going to be hammering it. I still can't hit a fucking mid iron or long iron. But anyway,
isn't that a great feeling though?
But thank you, Steve, for the great day at Muskegon Country Club. It was amazing.
It's a great feeling to play in front of new people and play well.
But at a country club that's private too, it's just like cool. Everything's nice, and the towels they show up, and there's like
it's a great day.
Everything is stocked.
Yeah,
God, man,
I
get why people embezzle money. Like I get it. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense. Like you see these people like in your newspaper there, like, oh, this lady got $500,000, and usually they just go to it and gamble it away stupidly. But I mean, just to live that life, man. Goddamn. Thanks, Steve. Ethan Charbella next. One of the 3 former MSU QBs returning to Spartan Stadium this fall. Noah Kim may worry me the most. Eastern has to be a win for this to feel like an encouraging season, and he feels solid enough to where they won't be a total gimme. Prairie View, Richmond of the past couple years.
They've got to beat Toledo and Eastern. You can't not beat the MAC schools. It kills a year, and especially when you're trying to gain some early momentum and be in the hunt for a bowl. And there are a lot of teams that I think are questionable on their schedule that are going to have their own questions. Like there are some opportunities if they're solid to pick up wins and to pick up some momentum. You want to kill momentum, lose to a MAC school at the beginning. You got to beat them. You got to be better than them. You got to be better up front. You got to be better at quarterback. And, we've all seen Noah Kim. I think Noah Kim is at the right level for him. I think he's a good player. But Noah Kim should not be torching.
Noah Kim revenge tour.
Yeah,
watch out.
What he's thinking.
Professor, the worst part of NIL is that you don't have to be a stable, well-coached program any longer. You just need a few sycophant boosters. And bonus, this show is now part of my weekly routine. I haven't been on a treadmill in 2 weeks without the content.
Apologies for that. Yeah, it's not.
I get that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad it is. I'm glad we are associated with your fitness too. We strive to be that as well. The NIL part, Professor. Yeah, I mean, I think in this era that there are lots of things that aren't as good. There are things that are more fair, but the complete out of controlness of everything and lack of any sort of structure or contracts. And look, the NCAA is the one who created the system. They wanted this system before they got forced into this new system. They created this happened because the NCAA pushed against any sort of real NIL or endorsements for so long. But and you still need a good coach, and you still need good roster building. But a few sycophant boosters makes a big difference. Or you can just bet on Conor McGregor.
Pablo Ciccone, I celebrated my anniversary the other weekend, and in the truck on our way to celebrate, I gave a live read for Front 43 and Cask & Company.
Bless you.
Verbatim. We didn't go there, but I'm out here fighting the good fight. Mid-take, Spartans go 8-4. And last take here. Our family summer vacation.
Oh, this is a different person. I didn't know.
That's not Pablo.
Oh, boy.
By the way, you did a live read for the wife. Like, where did you guys go? Like, don't you have a say in this marriage? Like, what? I mean, at all? So sick of these guys not being able to go where they want to eat. I mean, I'm telling you, Front 43 is a great place. We went there twice over the break. It was amazing.
It's incredible.
It always hits. Hits the spot every time. Like, if you knew a place that you were going to go to, hit the spot. How can your wife turn that down?
Yeah. I'm trying to find this right now because I'm not sure.
Oh, you want
do
some
this.
honk?
Give me some honk.
I'll give you some How about some... This will make you hurry up.
I'm guided to another world.
Nolan, turn off your headphones.
Time again.
Lats. Voice of an angel.
At sunrise, I fight to stay asleep, 'cause I don't want to lose the comfort of this place.
It's going to ramp up here.
'Cause there's a hunger, a longing to escape.
Hold on. Take your time.
Thank
the
you.
life I live
gonna hit the bridge
when
here.
I'm awake.
This is a podcast.
So let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there.
Come on, Chad.
Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take
I can't find it. I hope maybe it was. Maybe it is. If it's not Pablo's, I apologize. Okay. So this is from.
This is your punishment.
Thank you.
This is your punishment for not doing the name.
By the way, if Michigan State goes 8-4, it'll feel really good to people.
To a place with golden streams.
So either from Pablo or Anonymous, this next one.
All right.
Weird space in between them.
Jane Doe. Our family summer vacation aligned with the podcast hiatus. After 2 weeks in Charlevoix and Petoskey, we, one here, felt poor that we can't afford a place up here and $350,000 Chris Craft boat. And two, wonder why we live downstate. Jason's Graham voice. Northern Michigan is so chill.
It's incredible. It's the house we stay at in Marquette. We could have bought when we first started renting it. We would have been house poor as fuck. We'd have to stay with my mother down here or something. But
doesn't it make you want to ask people like what they do? Like, what did you do to accrue this wealth?
But it's not even. It was expensive, but not like ridiculous. Like it was like $450,000 when the people bought it. It's well.
That's it.
It's well over $1 million now. Like it's like less than a decade later. It's sick. It's the prices are just
flipped it, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we could have just lived in it.
Whoa,
you know.
Whoa.
Yeah. You okay?
Hey there. Sorry.
Diabetes alert. You good?
Matt Salisbury. Number one, I'm getting more worried. Trajan Langdon just doesn't have it. Seems like most GMs in this town can't make the big move or ballsy move. Is this Matt still? Two,
yeah.
I tried to watch as much soccer as I could, and I kept getting more and more mad at how big of babies they are when they get touched. It's like someone shot them. Then look, it's a miracle Jesus came down and healed them in the 10 seconds. They were rolling around like Peter Griffin.
Some of it is trying to sell the call, but a lot of it has to do with just how painful it is to have the cleats they play with hit your ankle bone or step on your foot or whatever, or hit the back of your Achilles like they often happen. It's nasty. It's not. They're not faking the pain. It's just not really a serious injury. That is it.
Like hitting your funny bone.
Yeah.
Bill McLeod. The World Cup has been fun to watch, but the flopping, fake injuries, and questionable refereeing, VAR, has made it less so. And bonus, the Norwegian player who didn't pass to Holland should be left at the Buc-ee's parking lot on 95. No, not gambling related. Just wanted them to advance.
That was a awful play, and luckily he doesn't live in a country like the guy who blew the goal for Colombia didn't take the flight home with he's in hiding apparently. So I mean, like,
I don't blame him.
Yeah, not after the Escobar situation 32 years ago. I'm glad he lives in Norway. He'll eventually be able to go home, or might already be there.
The Lindsey Graham of Southern Maine next. Hottest take in my couch in the Rube career. Everyone agrees that Bolligan didn't deserve a red card. Trump finally does something good in exerting his influence, and people are pissed. Let's celebrate the result of the corruption and not be pissy because we don't like how it happened.
But see, this is why, and I know you're being a little facetious. This is where you can't, if you're a Michigan State fan, you can't look at like what's happened with Michigan football and say this is corruption and it cannot stand, and then not mind it when the president of the country calls in a favor to get a player reinstated.
If Michigan State football played once every 4 years, and if something egregious happened, I don't know if you can compare this.
I don't think it shouldn't have been a red card. I wish there was a system in place that legitimately allowed that not to be a punishment by suspension. But they went with the
I feel like the president has more stuff going on. Worry about soccer, but whatever. Sunshine Spartan, number 1, am I a bad person for being happy USA lost because of the meddling by the White House? And 2, Buc-ee's is the greatest thing on a road trip. 2 Buc-ee's references.
Yeah,
Let's
wow.
get them.
Yeah,
sponsor the show.
I don't think you're a bad person. You feel however you want to feel. I mean, it definitely changed the vibes. Look, it fired Belgium up. That's what it did. You pissed off their opponent, which obviously was doing the Trump dance afterwards and all that stuff. It did not help the U.S. to have all that happen. The U.S. was a likable, lovable team. They created themselves that despite being the big bad USA, and people liked their story. They liked the hosts and all that stuff, and then you had that, and it just changed the vibes. And I don't know how much that had to do with the wins and losses, but then they shit the bed, and so it was not helpful. It turned out to be.
Pig Miller next. Being a Tigers fan right now is standing in the liminal space between genuine excitement and fear of a rug pull, and I can't take it. Feels like a lot of momentum drained off this weekend with the series loss. Is this team good or bad? And from C. Thulis, will the Tigers get to 500 again this season? I don't know.
I don't think they will.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the Phillies are a good team going to the All-Star break. They played well. They've played well for the past month. You can't deny that.
So if somebody put bazooka to your head and said you have to bet one way or another that they get to 500, even not that they finish 500, but at some point they hit 500, would you take the bet?
What are they at right now? Under 500? How many games?
They're not. Gesundheit. You okay there?
God bless you, my child.
Thank you.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Yeah. There's a sneeze-free zone here. No, you can't. There's no
Couch is gonna freak out.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's. Sorry. The.
Thank God this wasn't like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, 8
lost his shit.
8 below 500.
No.
Yeah,
Bazooka to my head, I'd say no.
Yeah, right.
Todd Gack next. Skubal has to be traded. There's no way the Tigers will sign him. Not sure he's worth 10 years, $40 million a year anyway. If they keep him and happen to make the playoffs, he'll give up 2 runs and pitch 6 innings while the Tigers get shut out and eliminated. I just don't like the 10-year aspect. I don't mind paying him $40 million. Like, what? As fans, why do we care?
And not over shorter years.
Not for 10 years. Yeah.
I think. Look, I think it's fair to pay a guy like him 5 years, $40 million, 5 years, $200 million. I don't think that's. I think somebody else is easily going to pay that.
And if someone's going to overpay that, then go.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone's going crazy.
You're fine.
All right, Mr. Benjen, the Tigers have the AL's best record since June and are still 8 games under 500. Just trade Skubal and start over. Bonus. Graham on Twitter is like a big slobbering dog. Point at something, say a tweet from some schmo who enjoys the World Cup and wants help picking a team to follow, and enjoy the reaction ingrained deep in his DNA.
I can't help myself. Yep, it's very much.
But hates Twitter.
Yes. Well, here's what happens. And this is anybody who's had a young child, an infant, will know this. You get nap trapped, like you cannot move. So sometimes you'll be like, oh crap, like she'll fall asleep on you. You don't want to disturb the nap, and like all I've got is my phone, and I'm like, all right, what's going on Twitter? And so that's the best hot takes.
So what
happen.
was the excuse before Cora was born?
That I'm a big slobbering dog. That's all. Yeah.
You like to stir it up. Yeah, I like it. MSU stand. Lions taking the North easy. Easiest schedule, plus Goff, St. Brown, Gibbs, and Laporta are still lethal. Hutch and the defense will hold it down. After that collapse, they're pissed and ready to prove it. 11 wins incoming. Time to make some noise. # one pride. I got to say, Stan.
Jared Goff.
Who's going to be in the secondary, though? Has anyone told him about Terry and Arnold yet or no? Poplawski's knee brace. All 4 Detroit Pro teams are sliding backwards right now. MSU basketball is where it's always been. MSU football somehow is our best hope for improving and going in a positive direction. Scary times.
I don't think all 4 pro teams are sliding backwards. I think the Lions still have something to say about that, and I think the Pistons still have something to say about that.
The Tigers could.
Over time, possibly.
Moves.
Yeah, right.
Richard Kane, number 1. Kevin G is staying, which is great, I guess. Wish he'd given much thought and care before announcing he's leaving. And Batt still at MSU. Hey, Batt, paraphrasing the great Jack Walsh. Here come 2 words for you. Get the fuck out. Hit the bricks, you parapedic carpetbagger. Paratetic. Who's Jack? Tell the people at home who Jack Walsh is.
I don't actually know. Do you know what Jack Walsh is? I was hoping you knew. Hold on. Let's find that out because now we have to. He is a.
Through the city's backside, I see the stars come out of the sky.
He had more, too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Jack Walshes, but I'm thinking he's talking about the.
How would you know? Did you put the quote in or no? I can finish. Let me finish. 2, golf fans and soccer fans calling the other sport boring is hilarious. That's true. 3, a sparrow dropped in through the flu, leaving dad feeling less than brave. Boo-hoo. Mom grinned ear to ear. There's no need to fear. I'll help. You hold the blanket.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, that's true. Bird comes in the house. That's good work. Yeah, I'd like to think. Although I did fix a toilet this past weekend. I felt like the man that I've never been.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I was pretty excited.
Isn't that weird though? And you walk away feeling like a man.
Oh, I went to Home Depot twice. I fixed parts in the tank. I felt great. I felt like.
Well, that would make you feel less of a man if you have to go back twice. Because like a real man would just go once, know what he needs.
Yeah, there was one bolt I couldn't get off without a new wrench. But
for a toilet. For a toilet?
Yeah, they say lefty loosey, righty tighty, but this was more than this was a tough angle.
George Wishart next. Soccer needs 2 referees. Sick and tired of watching clear fouls get missed and hearing the announcer say, well, it's tough for the referee to see that. Then have another referee out there. He says, sorry. I know the officials on the sidelines can help, but need another pair of eyes in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know why this has always been the way it is. I've never had a huge problem with it. They get up and down the field pretty well. You wouldn't want another person getting in the way. You see that happen once in a while. But then again, if it was going to make this, and they do have other refs on the side who can help make calls. I don't know that it's 100% needed, and they do have the eye in the sky now with VAR. I don't know. I understand the frustration. It does seem like, given the size of the field that they cover, more than one referee on the field would make sense.
Matty B, number 1, Spiro, once again, absolutely cooking Michigan writers. This is where Graham says, these stories take time. Well, we can find out where every last penny of Tucker's contract came from. Maybe we focus on the AD who has had 74 scandals and do our own digging. And 2, the difference between MSU and Michigan and the Blue Wall is you cannot tell me they aren't more opportunistic at MSU's expense. Gus staying is good, but they immediately focus on the negative. They don't do that for Michigan. If roles were reversed, I guarantee it would be positive.
There's a lot of stuff right now that's out there obviously on Ward Manuel. But yeah, the Detroit News and Nolan Finley in particular have gone after MSU with something up their ass, and I think it has to do with relationships on the board. Look, I don't think it's been correct, especially when there are lots of other things way more important in this world that they don't actually defend properly. But that's also the opinion page of the Detroit News. Has just gotten a lot of publicity for sure.
Throwing that phone away. Sorry. Jake Hawkins, number 1, so glad that Kevin Guskiewicz came to his senses and decided to stay at MSU. Too bad we couldn't retain J Batt, but I heard while MSU AD, he was looking for jobs elsewhere, so best of luck to him. Not, says Jake Hawkins. What are your thoughts on John Palumbo, and are you going to write a column on KG? And 2, Tigers, if you decide to keep Tarek Skubal past the trade deadline, I 100% agree with Mike Valeni. Make the World Series or fire Scott Harris. Also, Tigers can't believe I'm bringing up a 90s hit song by a boy band, but quit playing games with my heart.
Jake.
Oh, Hawk. 3, Trajan Langdon, what the hell are you thinking with the moves you made so far in this offseason? 64 wins, divisional round loss in 7 games, and yet you're not making bold moves for the Pistons, while others in the East have. If LeBron goes back to Cleveland to where it began, watch out. And bonus. Rest in peace to Kenny Cott, producer on 97.1 who passed away at age 32 a few weeks ago. Makes you appreciate life. That was brutal.
Yeah, way early.
Because I listen to Valeni sometimes, and that sucks, man.
I will write a column if it's still
Kenny Cott.
No, on Palumbo and Guskiewicz and everything. If it's still at some point in some form, I'm not back at the LSJ until the first week of August, so I'm still on leave.
Look at this guy.
So, yeah,
what do you got coming up then?
Parental leave, man. It's a great deal. So it's basically, but also it's Yeah, my wife is back at work. We staggered this stuff a little bit so that I could, so we can make this happen before daycare takes over. And then once daycare happens, man, you talk about germs. I'll be out like every other week here. It's gonna be bad.
Boy in the bubble.
Oh man,
you're gonna be wearing a hazmat suit.
Right now, it's cute when she sneezes in your face and coughs in your face because it's like she has no germs. She's just this tiny little thing.
And now you got Nolan the intern hacking on you.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Norovirus, brother.
And finally, before we get out of here, the upper deck jerk guy. Confession time. The World Cup has been kind of fun to watch. If I could find some rooting interest, I might watch soccer more.
Coventry City, come with me on the bandwagon. We are going to prove that the adult brain, period. Boring. Shouldn't say male. That's misogynist there. But adult brain can actually become a fan of somebody just by choice. And if it doesn't work for me, then it doesn't work for anybody, and the whole thing is a scam. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging with us when we're off for a couple weeks. We appreciate you producing our show, as always. We appreciate intern Nolan here. We appreciate our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Download the app today or swing by Daisy's Tap Room and Sportsbook off I-94 and Battle Creek. We'll be back on Wednesday with Jason's 75 picks for the Open this weekend, which should be a lot of fun. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Roof.